Hangout, everyone, where we talk about anything and everything real estate related and lending. I got you, Sam. I got you this time,
You remembered
man.
me today,
I'm sorry
bro.
about last time. Sam, this episode means so much to me. It's so important. We're going to be talking to first-time home buyers today. Now, everybody at some point was a first-time home buyer. Buying houses, can be complicated. There's a lot of steps. So we're going to be simplifying everything as much as we can. We're going to be sharing with you everything that you should be doing prior to actually going and shopping for houses. So I'm going to share with you the 5 things that you should be doing prior to shopping for a house. Later in the episode, Sam is also going to be sharing 5 things with you on the lending side.
I feel like people have seen so many videos out there. Like when you want to be a first-time buyer, you're nervous and you have a lot of questions. So you're shopping around looking at all these different videos, and everybody's promising you that they're going to give you the answers on how to buy a home for the first time and how to buy a home with no money down. And you watch those videos and nobody actually gives you the answer. You walk away with no answers, and they're asking you to buy their book and subscribe and come to their seminar. And we're not going to do any of that today, and we are going to give you the answers. You are going to get the answers from this show, and all you got to do is watch the video to the end. That's all you got to do for us. Watch the video to the end, and you're going to get the answers on how to buy a home and even how to buy a home with no money down. So just stay tuned for that.
We promise you, the cat will be let out of the bag.
That's right.
Right now on the show. Okay, so let me start again. The 5 things that you need to do prior to shopping for a house. Okay, and my disclaimer is if you have anxiety about wanting to buy your first house, if you're nervous, excited, all these things are perfectly acceptable and normal. Okay, buying a house is the single most important purchase of most people's lives, and so when I was a young man wanting to try to buy a house, no one helped me. And it was really frustrating. So we're hoping to clarify a few things here. And it's never been easier to buy a house. You just have to do these five things, in my opinion, and listen to Sam a little bit. All right. So again, no further ado. Number 1, okay, you got to have a job. You don't have to make $1 million a year. You don't even have to make $50,000 a year. Or 30, but you got to have a job, okay? If you don't have a job, you have to have some sort of passive income, okay? The reason being is you have to prove to the bank that you can repay back the loan. All right, now, if you say, Mark, this doesn't pertain to me, I got a family member or a friend or I got an inheritance, they're giving me the cash, we're not talking to you at this point in the show. All right, this is just for people that need to get financing from a bank. All right, you got to have a job. That's 1, okay? Number 2, you got to have a minimum baseline mortgage score of 580.
That's right.
Now, when I say mortgage score, it's different than FICO. Okay, there's a lot of companies out there like Credit Karma that are great. Okay, it's great to go on there and kind of see what your FICO score is. But a FICO score is different than a mortgage score, and Sam will definitely tell us the difference later on. Or Sam, do you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Really
I totally agree. Credit karmas and all that, those are great for you to keep track, basic monitoring of your credit score. You'll find out if you've got any derogatory or anything like that. But those websites will not accurately give you a mortgage score. Okay, but we'll get into this a little bit more in the show. But you can definitely call a mortgage broker like me at any time. Okay, now, not all will do this, but you want to ask the mortgage broker to run a soft check, okay? And a soft check is not going to impact your credit score in any way. There's going to be no inquiry on your credit bureau, but at least you can have the conversation about what your mortgage score actually is so that you have a map when you're navigating towards buying that first home.
Okay, cool. So again, 580 is just a baseline. Okay, there's actually a lot of lending products out there. Some of them require a little bit higher mortgage score. Some of them, from my understanding, you can even be a little bit lower. But even if you are lower than 580, don't fret. Don't panic. Don't get upset because typically, someone like Sam will be able to look into your credit, and within a matter of 30, 60, or even 90 days, he'll be able to tell you the things that you need to do so you can bump your credit up just a little bit more so you can start shopping for a house.
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
So 580 is just baseline. All right. Number 3, get your pen and paper ready. This is really, really important. I love shopping with first-time home buyers. There's a lot of coaching, and just being able to change the trajectory of someone's life is it's really special to me. And I'm really passionate about it. One of the things that I always share with first-time home buyers is there's three components to buying real estate. Okay. And that is the price, the location, and the house itself. Okay. So you have to be realistic with all three. All right. So number three, be realistic. We're going to be talking about the house, the location, and the price. All right. So what I typically tell first-time home buyers is this. Okay, when we're having our first consultation and we start looking at the types of homes we want to buy, okay, they get to pick two, I get to influence one. And what that means is if you are pre-qualified for a certain price point and you have to be in a certain location because let's say your job is within 20 or 30 minutes or your kids are in school, I get to then show you all the homes in that area that work with your price and location. Okay, so I get to help you find the house that meets those other two. Okay, now on the flip side, okay, if you say, hey, Mark, I need a house that has 3 or 4 bedrooms and I absolutely need to be in this price point. Well, guess what? Then I get to share with you all the locations. Now, it may not be in the exact neighborhood you want to be in. Okay, it may not even be in the same city, but if you tell me what type of house you want and you have a pre-approval for a certain price, then I get to share with you all the different locations of where those houses will be. Okay, and then the third is obviously if you say, Mark, I have to be in this specific location because of work, kids' schools, close to my parents, whatever it is. Okay, and I also need a specific house with a certain amount of bedrooms, or I need a house in the backyard, or whatever your criteria is, then I get to share with you the price points. Now, if you had already gotten pre-approved or were in the process of speaking with a lender, then we're going to oftentimes see that maybe we have to adjust our realistic expectations for the house and the location. Okay, so number three, be realistic. Price, location, and home. Those are the three major components that we have to think about, and we can dive into that, at some point on another show.
That's
or
a
if you guys
really
have any comments.
awesome breakdown. I really love that. Really simplified.
Number 4, for the love of God, please listen to me when I say this to you. Number 4 is the most important thing. Interview more than one real estate agent. Let me say that one more time. Please, pretty please, interview more than one real estate agent. Here's the thing, okay? Picking a real estate agent is not a popularity contest, okay? Just because your mother's neighbor got her real estate license or your buddy just got his real estate license doesn't mean that he's the best real estate agent for you. Not every real estate agent is the same. Keep in mind that this is arguably the single most important purchase of your life. Maybe you saved up for the down payment. It took you months, or it took you, forever to get your FICO score, and you guys are ready to shop. Okay, you want to find someone that's going to really work with you, that you have great communication, that knows what they're doing. I'll give you a quick example. Okay, if you're looking to buy a condominium in a high rise, you're going to want to find a real estate agent that understands condominiums, that knows every single building, all the HOAs and bylaws in that particular city that you're trying to shop in, as opposed to the guy that has sold 1,000 single family homes that's been in the business for 20 years. Okay, even though he's great or she's great, okay, the guy that is an expert in what you're trying to buy is going to be better suited to you. And then number 5, all right, interview more than one lender. Okay,
yeah,
not all lenders are created. There we go. All right. Not all lenders are created equal, just like real estate agents. When you're forming your team, okay, the tripod, it's you, the buyer, okay, the real estate agent, and your lender. You want to make sure that everyone's working together. Now, if there's a really good real estate agent, he in your area, he's probably worked with some lenders that he feels really, really comfortable with. Sam and I, we do a lot of business together. Even though he's in Nevada and I'm in Texas, okay, we do a lot of business together. We communicate very well, and Sam always has my client's best interest. But it's really, really important, as savvy as Sam is, that you interview just a few lenders, because there's going to be lenders that specialize in different lending products.
Loan officers out there who are watching us right now, a lot of you are great at the technicalities of your job, but you're terrible salespeople. Okay, you're a banker. So when these first-time buyers call you, don't inundate them with a bunch of rules. I mean, of course, they need to know what those are, but it's like you pulled out a book and you're reading them the riot act. You don't want to do that, right? You want to be working.
We're supposed to be a team,
right?
Let's
work together. There's positivity. Yeah. Let's not say no, no, no. Let's say yes, 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 and this is how we're going to get to yes. And I'm so happy to work with you.
Buying real estate, it's a very intimate process. We get to know each other very, very well. I'm going to know things about you that most people in your life won't. Don't be scared. And Sam's going to do the same.
Now, if you haven't done so already, now's the perfect time to hit that subscribe button below. I'm going to get into some quick lending products, 5 lending products I'm going to tell you about, which are perfect for first-time home buyers. One of them is even the secret of how to buy a home with no money down. And no, you don't have to come to our seminar. And no, you don't have to click anything. And no, you don't have to buy our book. And no, we're not going to ask you for any money. Okay, all you're going to have.
Sam, are you actually going to tell them?
I'm actually going to tell them.
No, you're not.
Actually, listen, this is not a Tom Vu seminar. Okay, you don't have to come fly across the country and pay me $5,000. Whatever videos you are watching out there that are going to promise you the secrets to home buying with no money down aren't going to tell you anything different than what I'm going to tell you right now, and it's all for free. All you got to do is watch the rest of this show.
Okay, he's going to tell you guys how to buy a house with no money down.
The first thing you need to know is there's two basic types of loans out there that are conforming. One is called a conventional loan, which is your standard loan product, 30-year fixed loan. The other one,
tell them what conforming means, Sam.
So we're going to be using your W-2, your pay stub, or your tax returns to qualify you. Basically, that's simplified it in that show. So there's a conventional loan, which is your standardized loan. And then there's another loan called an FHA loan. Now, on a conventional loan, you want to have a 620 and up score, okay? On an FHA loan, you can have a 580 and up score. So those are the two basic types of loans.
But Sam, conventional sounds expensive. I heard that FHA is only 3.5% down. How much do you have to put down on a conventional loan?
Well, that's a great question. Now, if you're a first-time buyer on a conventional loan, you only need 3% down. Now, let's think about what that is for a minute. Let's say you want to buy a home for $200,000. I mean, that's $6,000, right? I mean, that's not like the moon and the stars. A lot of people think you need 20% down to buy a home. That is incorrect.
I mean, it sounds expensive, though. Do you have other options?
Now, that we have another product available, which just rolled out this year, and that's called a 1% down loan. You need 1%. 1%.
Now we're talking.
Okay, 1%. So you want to buy a $300,000 home, you need $3,000? That's a real thing.
Now we're talking, Sam.
All right, now I was just talking to one of your clients this week. And they were like, 1%, what's the catch? Are you going to charge me something else somewhere else? I was like, no, I'm not. They're actually going to let you put 1% down, and they're not increasing your interest rate, and there's no hidden fee. It's a 1% deal. Now, the bank is still requiring 3% down to make the loan work, but they're going to give you the 2%. They're giving you the 2%. So you're putting down 1%, and you're getting 2% for free. Now, what's the limitation on that? You're probably going to be capped at around a $400,000 home on this program. But if you're looking to buy a $400,000 home and you don't want to put 3% down, you can now put 1% down. All right, third product. This is the one that everybody wants to know about, okay? How to buy a home with no money down. Now, there's a product. It's an FHA deal, which requires 3.5% down. But they're going to give you the 3.5% on a grant. You don't have to pay it back. It's not a loan. It's a gift of 3.5%. Now, when I say gift on this product, there is a bit of a cost, okay? The rates are going to be a little bit higher, all right? Okay. That's why I recommend if you can do the 1% down program, do that one. Okay, but if you can't do 1% down and you need the grant, which was in some cases we need to do, then you can do that. We're going to give you they're going to give you the 3.5%. You're going to do an FHA loan. The rate is going to be a little bit higher, but you're going to get that 3.5%. Now, What about the closing costs? How do I do this with no money down? All right, because that covers the down payment. What about the closing cost? Okay. Now, this is something where the bank isn't involved. This is how you put the whole thing together with no money down. To get the closing cost, you need to call an agent like Mark who's willing to go out there and find a seller who's going to give you the closing costs. And that might sound like an impossible task. Every time I suggest that, I get a bunch of naysayers and say they have a whole bunch of objections as to why that can't happen. Listen, we see it all the time.
All the time.
Don't we see it all the time? Right.
All the time. Yeah.
You can get closing costs from
sellers. Here's the thing. Sellers want to sell their house at the highest price, no doubt, and they want to walk away with the most money. But sometimes the best deal is when they get the highest price, they get everything they want, but they also throw in some seller concessions. And a really good agent is going to be able to negotiate a lot of those things. And it happens every single day at my brokerage. So yes, Sam, you're right. Seller concessions are very, very normal. Is it guaranteed? Of course not. Everything is negotiable. Okay. But Sam's absolutely right. With this loan product and with some seller concessions, you can literally buy a house with no money down. And I have a list of clients that I've done this with. So.
Me as well. So you're right. So you might not get, it's not going to work on every home. Okay. Some sellers aren't going to do it. Some sellers are, and some sellers will. And this goes back to what Mark said before about finding the right realtor. If this is what you want to do and your realtor's already giving you grief about it, get another realtor, because realtors like Mark are going to go out there and fight for you to make this happen. So this is a real thing. It is a possibility. We have just unveiled the secret to how to buy a home with no money down. And again, you didn't have to buy my book, and you don't have to come on my seminar.
Cat is out of the bag, dude. That's it. You did it.
We did it.
Cat's out of the bag.
We did it.
That's it.
All right. That's the secret.
Final thing, Sam, is for the vets, VA and USDA.
So correct? I've got two more loan products, and we're going to do these kind of simultaneously. There are two more loan products where you can buy a home with no money down. First one is for our wonderful vets who we thank for their service is you can get a VA loan, 100% financing. Some loan officers are going to tell you that there's loan limits. You can even do a jumbo loan on a VA loan. Okay, no money down, 100% financing if you're a vet.
Thank you, vets. Thank you for everything you've done.
Thank you for your service. Doesn't matter what area you do it in. Next loan product, if you're not a vet, and I love this loan product. I almost want to move just to take advantage of this loan product. Okay. Doesn't work everywhere. If you're living like in central Las Vegas or downtown Dallas, it's not going to work for you. But if you're living like 30 or 40 minutes out of town, what they call rural areas. Now, be careful with that word rural area. You're thinking you need to live in the sticks to qualify for this. You don't. You'd probably be surprised what classifies as a rural area on this loan. And I'm going to put a link below so you can search your address and figure it out. But if you live in certain areas, you will qualify for what's called a USDA loan. Okay, baseline 580 credit score, 100% financing plus 2% towards closing cost. I mean, that's incredible. That's a no money down deal right there. And all you got to do is live in certain areas. Okay. I love that loan product. You don't even need to go negotiate with the seller. You're getting 100% financing plus 2% for closing costs. And all you got to do is live in certain areas. Again, we're going to put that link down below. I also want to mention what we're going to put down below is contacts for Mark and I. If you have any lending or real estate questions, even if we're not in your area, feel free to give us a call. We're here to help you guys out. That's it for me. You got anything else to add, Mark?
Yeah, just wanted to recap. We just launched a show. Just wanted to thank everybody that's been emailing us already, and that's been dropping comments. We love hearing from you guys, and we really appreciate the love and support. If there's anything that you guys want us to cover in future episodes, please let us know. We may not have all the answers, but we're definitely going to try to give you as many as we can. I'm
going to put the a video here of our last video. Make sure you check that out as well. We'll be back to you guys in a few days with another episode on HOAs and POAs. Make sure you hit that subscribe button below. I'm good. Peace, everyone.